This is a story where a girl has been diagnosed with asthma, diabetes, paralysis, and other terrible dangerous diseases. Her mother is then forced to give her a variety of medication, including a mysterious green pill. As this girl turns 17, dark truths are soon revealed. So, are you curious about this story? Well, I can promise you this. You will be running to double check the medication in your cabinet after listening to this video. But for now, sit tight and listen for what I am about to tell you. The film begins with a team of doctors trying to save the life of a premature newborn baby. A few moments later, the baby's mother is called to see the condition of her baby, who has passed the critical phase. She then asks if the baby would be okay. The scene then moves to a gathering of mothers who are discussing their children who have grown up. The mothers there feel sadness to let go of their children, except for a mother named Diane Sherman, who doesn't look sad at all. Diane says that her daughter has had enough of her life at home and wants to move on. The scene shifts to a child named Chloe, who has 5 diseases. The first disease is called arrhythmia. This causes Chloe's heartbeat to be abnormal. The second disease is called hemochromatosis, which is a genetic disorder that causes an iron overload in the body. The third disease is called asthma, which causes respiratory problems. The fourth disease is diabetes, which causes uncontrolled sugar levels, and worst of all, the last disease, paralysis, which causes disturbances in the nerves and muscles. At home, Chloe has a routine of taking many medicines and checking blood to control her blood sugar levels. Chloe is shown to be a very intelligent young teenager. She has a desire to study at one of the top universities in the city and applies her applications with such passion. She is always excited when a letter comes and hopes that it is a university acceptance letter. But unfortunately, the universities do not reply back to her, and her mother always tells her that she will inform Chloe of when a letter arrives. Chloe loves to do experiments and is able to assemble sophisticated tools that she has taught herself at home. She also browses frequently at the universities she wishes to attend. This tells us in the story so far that she's very eager to move out of her house and see the world outside. The next day, when Chloe is studying, Chloe hears the sound of a car. She thinks it is a mail delivery car, but immediately looks out the window, and it turns out to be her mother who has just come home after buying things. When her mother is on the phone, Chloe immediately peeks into her mother's grocery box and takes some chocolates in the box. However, this is where the story takes a turn of events. Now, Chloe accidentally sees that there is one pack of green medicine with Diane Sherman's name on it. And naturally, Chloe is very curious about what disease her mother has, as she has never mentioned anything to her. At night, Chloe's mother gives some medicine for Chloe to take before going to bed. Chloe is surprised because there is a green medicine she saw before. She queries this to her mother, and she claims that it is Chloe's medicine. Then, Chloe confesses to her mother that earlier she took the chocolate and saw the medicine package with her mother's name on it. Chloe's mother then tells Chloe not to eat too much chocolate, and reiterates that it is Chloe's medicines, and the name on the medicine package is only the recipient's name. Chloe, who is still astonished, continues to take the medication and go straight to sleep. The next day, curiosity gets the better of Chloe. She decides to take one pack of the medicine in the medicine cabinet and looks at the name of the medicine, trioxin. This is printed on the package and she is confused, because this time she sees her name wrapped in the medicine. Now, this is where the story takes a further dark turn of events. She peels off a little sticker with her name and sees Diane Sherman's name written on the back. So, at nightfall, before Chloe goes to sleep, she is given some of the same medicine, but this time, Chloe does not swallow the green pill and takes it back to be examined. After her mother is asleep, Chloe immediately goes downstairs to find information about trioxin through her computer. Unfortunately, the browser can't be accessed because there is an internet problem. Chloe, who's using the computer, doesn't realize that someone is watching her in the corner of the room. The next day, Chloe hears her mother is angry on the phone. It turns out that her mother is complaining because of internet problems at home. Chloe, who hears that, then asks How long will it be down for? Then her mother responds, how does she know if the internet is having problems? Chloe then lies by saying that she used the computer last night to figure out how to fix her broken printer. Out of curiosity, when her mother is watering the plants outside, Chloe immediately begins to call random people and asks that person to use the internet and check the trioxin listed on the medicine package. It turns out that this medication is for the heart, but strangely, this medication is a red pill, not a green one. Chloe begins to suspect her mother is up to something. Chloe, who is still very curious, does not give up and asks her mother to go to the cinema as an excuse to find information there. Chloe and her mother live in a remote place outside the city. While at the cinema, Chloe says to her mother that she wants to go to the toilet. She then leaves the cinema and goes straight to the nearest pharmacy. While she arrives at the place, it turns out there is a very long queue. Chloe, who is afraid of being caught by her mother, immediately asks the person to let her pass so she can cut the queue and get information about her drug as fast as possible. Chloe immediately asks about the green medication given by her mother. Chloe asks what the use of this green pill is. The pharmacist who sees the drug is confused and tells Chloe that the drug is not trioxin, it is lidocaine. She informs that the drug is usually used for dogs. Chloe is shocked to hear these revelations. Her world is thrown upside down. She is in turmoil. She then asks what will happen if humans take the drug. The pharmacist replies, if people take this drug, then the person will experience paralysis. Suddenly, everything is thrown in the whirlpool. Her mother comes in without warning. She's frantic, rushing in panic, and immediately injects an anesthetic into Chloe's leg, causing this great revelation to come to an abrupt end. Later at the house, when her mother brings her home, her mother starts to panic, so she then locks Chloe in her room and goes out to buy a new paralytic prescription that she's looking for on the internet. Chloe, who has woken up, realizes that her mother locks her in the room. Because Chloe's smart, she has a few tricks to unlock the door. Unfortunately, her mother has anticipated this and put the broom handle to bar the door closed, but Chloe doesn't give up easily. Chloe uses her scientific and her technology skills by taking a soda island, a blanket, and holding water in her mouth. She then comes out of the window and crawls on the roof of her house. It is very difficult for her to crawl to the next room. As the suspense builds, she uses the heat from the soda and then the water to break the glass in the next room's window. The blanket is then used as a placemat so that Chloe's body is not exposed to broken glass. After getting out the window, she feels her asthma starts to flare up, and she does not have her inhaler with her. In a desperate attempt, Chloe then crawls back with a shaky breath to reach her room. Chloe then arrives in her room and immediately uses her inhaler to relieve her asthma on time. Chloe immediately gets into her wheelchair and rushes to run away from her house. However, the elevator that Chloe used to go down the stairs has been damaged by her mother. She then desperately throws the wheelchair and crawls down the stairs until suddenly she slips and rolls down. When she falls, Chloe feels a miracle. She can feel and move her toe because she has not taken the medicine for a long time. She becomes increasingly convinced that her mother is a psychopath. Chloe immediately gets into her wheelchair and out of her house, through the road that she used to go to the city. Suddenly, Chloe hears the sound of a car coming. Chloe is afraid it is her mother's car and immediately hides. However, it turns out that the vehicle is the postman who delivers letters to Chloe's house. A chance at freedom, Chloe then immediately rushes out of hiding to block the postman's van until she is almost hit. The postman gets out of his van and asks what is wrong with Chloe. Chloe just says, "Help me." When the postman is helping Chloe, her mother's car suddenly passes and her mother sees the two of them. Her mother immediately approaches the postman to ask what happens to Chloe. The postman stops Chloe's mother, who wants to take her child home. The postman says that Chloe doesn't want to go home and wants to go to the police station. Her mother persists in bringing her daughter back home, even threatening to report the postman as a kidnapping to the police. Because there was no signal, her mother's efforts were in vain. Her mother then says that the postman can take Chloe away, but on the condition that she comes with her to the hospital. So, when Chloe is being taken to the postman's van, her mother stabs an anesthetic into the postman's neck until he faints. Chloe is also sedated until she faints. When she wakes up, Chloe is already in the basement of her house and locked up in it. Chloe sees a black liquid made by her mother, which is probably a paralyzing drug for Chloe. Chloe is unable to get away because the wheelchair can't move because her mother had chained it. Chloe then looks for a way to get out of there, until Chloe sees that there is a pile of paper which turns out to be a notification regarding Chloe's admission to the university she had previously registered for. Chloe looks frustrated and annoyed. The revelation continues. Chloe then proceeds to find several photos showing that Chloe used to be healthy and not paralyzed. And even more surprising, she sees the paper containing a note of the death of a baby named Chloe who died 2 hours after being born, along with a newspaper containing news of a baby kidnapping at the same place, the same time as Chloe's death date. At that time, Chloe now realizes that she is not Diane's biological child, and she is the child who was stolen from her biological parents. It is revealed that Diane's baby shown at the beginning of the film was not saved, and that baby had passed away. And because of that, Diane became so frustrated, so distraught, that she kidnapped someone else's baby in the hospital to replace her dead baby. While Chloe is stressed and confused, her mother comes. Her mother tells her that she's not really her mother, and that she also made Chloe sick and paralyzed all this time with medication. Her mother then says she did this because she loves Chloe. She tells Chloe to forget all this and go back to how it used to be, throwing away Chloe's medication. Chloe, who's still afraid, refuses her mother's words until her patience runs out. Her mother then takes the black liquid mixture using a syringe to inject it into Chloe. Chloe is then getting more and more frightened and immediately runs behind a cupboard and locks it. Chloe finds the poison, and when her mother manages to open the door, Chloe immediately drinks the poison until she overdoses. Her mother weeps very loudly, seeing her daughter dying from the poison. Here, it can be concluded that Diane loves Chloe so much that she wants to control every move and every aspect of Chloe's life since her birth. But the question I ask you, is this really love or a selfish love? Now, Chloe, who is poisoned, is immediately taken to the hospital for medical treatment. But fortunately, Chloe is successfully cured by the doctors there, but she still finds it very difficult to move and talk. Chloe sees her mother staring at her through the glass in Chloe's room. She then immediately asks for help from the nurse in her room by pressing the help button. Chloe, who still can't speak yet, can only signal through her eyes. The nurse gives Chloe a note and a crayon so that Chloe can write something down. When Chloe is writing a word, a sudden emergency alarm is sounded. It turns out the emergency alarm is a sabotage carried out by Chloe's mother to attract the attention of the nurses. Not long after, her mother enters Chloe's room and immediately puts out all Chloe's medical equipment and takes her out. After the nurse returns to Chloe's room, she is confused by Chloe's disappearance. The nurse finds a note written by Chloe that reads, "Mom." The nurse immediately reports this to the security to find Chloe, who has disappeared from her room. Chloe, who was brought forcefully by her mother, can't ask for help because she's still finding it very difficult to talk. When she is almost out of the hospital on the escalator, Chloe's mother can't move Chloe's wheelchair. It turns out that Chloe is using her legs to hold the wheelchair in place. Yes, here it is. Chloe's legs can move a little. Before long, the security guards come to stop them from leaving. Seeing this, Diane immediately points a gun at the security officer, saying that she just wants to go home with her child. One of the security guards manages to shoot Diane, and she falls down the stairs. Chloe is rescued, and Diane is safely secured by the authorities. The scene then moves 7 years later in a mental hospital. Chloe, who's now an adult, is shown to be able to move her legs, though it is still a very deep struggle for her. There, Chloe is visiting someone who turns out to be Diane Sherman. Chloe says that her life now with her real family is very pleasant. She has many friends, and she has even graduated from her favorite university. Before Chloe says goodbye, she seems to take something out of her mouth, which turns out to be the dog medicine that Diane had given her. Chloe then says, "I love you, Mom, now open wide." That concludes the ending of the movie run. Thanks for watching this video, and if you enjoyed it, please remember to like and subscribe, and watch all our other videos in our channel. Thank you, and we hope to see you next time.